I've been a full-time travel creator for 6 months, and spoiler, I almost quit twice. Well, not really quit, but between the failure, confusion, and fleeting feelings of success, it has been quite a roller coaster. And I know travel content creation seems very sexy and glamorous, like I'm on the go all the time as I'm currently sitting on the floor here in the Zurich airport in Switzerland. But as someone who transitioned from remote social work to full-time travel content creation, I want to demystify it a bit and share 6 lessons I've learned the past 6 months. So let's roll the clips. Lesson 1. Freedom comes with fear. Yes, I can work from anywhere, but that also means I'm responsible for everything. No paycheck cushion, just me, some Wi-Fi, and my ideas. So when I'm gallivanting on partnerships in Vietnam, Alaska, or Switzerland, I still have to manage my email, post on socials, video edit, and take meetings in the midst of wild time zones, which is scary because what if I oversleep? Or get a time mixed up, or get stuck on the top of Europe during an excursion and miss a meeting. Traveling is already unpredictable, so when you make it your job, get ready to feel that often. Now, these are very beautiful and privileged fears to have, but as a solopreneur, the freedom of working from Japan is balanced with video editing or buying Wi-Fi to work on the flight there. I am a one-woman show, and maybe one day I will scale to a team. However, I want to know how my business should work before I invite others to join it. And the thought of that does instill some fear in me, but it's exciting. So while I'm learning that freedom to do anything means the freedom to be everything, I'm also learning lesson 2. Everything is content. But should it be? Just because something can go online doesn't mean it has to. Boundaries matter, and as a multi-hyphenate person, this is so hard for me because I love sharing tips and tricks and experiences. I end up wanting to share those tips and tricks and experiences for everything. What can I say? I like to be helpful. I've contemplated being a bookstagrammer or a junk journal influencer or even a running influencer because I do all of those often and I love them real bad. So while I do share what books I'm reading, my travel junk journal spreads, and my running around the world, not everything needs to be filmed all the time, especially when it comes to family and friends who did not consent to a life online. As much as content creation brings me so much joy, even on days where I don't want to film or edit, blocking out time for me to exist offline is just as important because at the end of the day, I love to document things. It's what drew me to content creation in the first place, but there are things I need to balance now too, which brings me to lesson 3. You need systems sooner than you think. From content calendars to invoicing, winging it gets exhausting. Now, I can't say I'm 100% a systems girly because I am not. However, I did realize a few months ago that I was winging it a bit too much. Manually sending invoices, editing everything myself but forgetting to schedule it, reading emails and not responding to them. And if I'm being honest, I've realized I'm more of a storyteller than a businesswoman. Like in theory and practice, I am both. But what comes most natural to me is storytelling, more than invoices, admin, and W-9s. But don't get it twisted, I'm not an unorganized person. Like I am a Virgo, for crying out loud. So yes, all my videos have their own name folder on my hard drive. But this is where tools have been helpful to get me acclimated to having business systems, not just personal ones. I live in Notion at this point because it's where I can track my trips and input all the information in my custom travel planning template. I can map out content ideas on my travel dashboards for each trip or partnership, which has been a game changer to feel less overwhelmed because yes, I love a good plan. However, productivity and planning is not everything, which is why lesson 4 is so important. Rest is productive. When you monetize your passion, burnout creeps in quick. So you have to schedule joy, not just document it. When I was working my 9-to-5, I often dreamed of all the time I would have to work on Sojournies and execute all of my ideas. But that is not the case, kind of. Yes, I do have more time to dream for my business and play around with new series ideas like this one, Life Unsupervised. However, I also have way more paperwork than I did beforehand too because work is flowing. It's good and I do love what I do. you. But because of that, it is so easy for me to work with no real breaks or days off. I do essentially work every day, either all day or most of the day. As a new entrepreneur, I knew this was going to happen because I'm not where I want to be quite yet. But resting is also necessary, whether it's binging my favorite TV shows and movies or making time to go on a run or junk journal. There are multiple ways to rest, and yes, some days that just means getting a good night's sleep. However, building while also maintaining a brand can't be done if I'm not filling my own cup. So here goes lesson 5. Brand work isn't just pretty pictures. This work is about storytelling, contracts, deliverables, and understanding your value. Yes, I'm a travel influencer. Yes, I'm a content creator. Yes, I'm the train travel queen. But being a travel entrepreneur means I'm also operations, management, PR, development, virtual assistant, creative director, video editor, and much more. Except I'm not an accountant or a lawyer, which I do need for real on retainer. Brand work is networking, meeting new people, understanding what usage rights and whitelisting means in my contracts, and how much I need to negotiate to get paid what I'm worth to build the business of my dreams. Nowadays, I am truly a multi-hyphenate in every sense of the title, because behind every brand is a person or a team that makes it happen. And while that may be me wearing multiple hats, attaining new skills every day as a solopreneur, I'm never actually solo. My community is strong, and I'm not alone, which is why I welcome lesson 6. The people matter more than the places. Connections, community, and even DMs have led to more collabs and cold emails on days where my conscience is telling me I can't do this. I have bad days like everyone else, and I have the urge to pick up and move when things get tough or I am overwhelmed, hence being a travel creator. And I feel like it's heightened because a lot of entrepreneurship is just vibes, my thoughts, and trusting my gut instinct most days. So when I need that extra encouragement, I rely on family, friends, fellow creators who know what it's like, and many more people you all mostly don't see because of lesson 2. I've had to learn to trust that when I don't got me, my people got me. And every time I wake up, it's an opportunity to try, fail, succeed, and try again, but also make them proud. Because as the great philosopher Glorilla says, every day the sun won't shine, but that's why I love tomorrows. So with all of that said, what is next? Am I quitting? Am I moving? I don't have all the answers figured out yet. However, I do know that I'm really just starting to feel my groove as an entrepreneur. I'm actually reporting to you live from Switzerland. I'm in Grindelwald on a partnership. And as a train traveler, this has been a dream, but more on that later. Because what's next is that I continue to figure out entrepreneurship. I become a better businesswoman. I continue to build relationships and pitch partnerships. I learn how to better navigate the ebbs and flows of the unpredictable nature of travel content creation, and I continue to live life my terms. People often ask me how long am I going to do this, because travel vlogging is a very intense job, to be honest, with all the traveling and editing and everything in between. And the honest answer is I don't know. In 6 months, maybe I want to pack it all up and do something else, or I'll be ready to scale and do even more, which is what I'm hoping will happen. But I'm gonna ride this thing until the rails fall off, until y'all tell me y'all are tired of seeing this Black girl with colorful hair, colorful nails travel to gorgeous places like this, which I hope will never happen. But you know, people change. But I would not be here without all of you, without this community who's been supporting me all these years. I had no idea that when I started a YouTube channel or just got on social media that it would be my job one day. It's like a dream come true. And I'm just so thankful for every like, share, comment, DM, view, because you all chose me to watch and to listen to and to yap about all the travel things. And I'm just so appreciative of all of that. One of my favorite Toni Morrison quotes is, if you want to fly, you gotta let go of the stuff that weighs you down. And most people think that stuff is other people, which it can be for sure. But on this entrepreneurship journey, I've learned I can be my own problem more than other people are a problem for me. Yes, there are brands who may not see my value or days when a video I was really proud of doesn't resonate with my audience like I thought and feels suppressed by these social media algorithms. However, these 6 months have shown that I can weigh myself down just as much as anyone else, with my negative self-talk, with my comparing myself to others, with just being a fabulously flawed human trying to build a business using none of the degrees and $70,000 in student loans I paid off to do. But just as I am evolving as a business, I am evolving as a person, as a traveler, as an entrepreneur, and as a creator. I'll be 31 in a few weeks, and I could have never imagined I'd be here at 30 doing Sojournies and getting paid to visit some of my dream destinations. I can't say where I'll be in a year or in 6 months or even next week if I'm being honest, but as long as I have my sense of wonder, a colorful outfit with hair and nails to match, and a pocket camera with an empty SD card waiting to be filled, I'll be here documenting my adventures, mapping out meaning in the mess, following my curiosity wherever it may lead, and hopefully inspiring you to do the same.